If the term Pro Springer variety fatigue existed, one would argue that 2023 was definitely the year that we all felt it. After the Nexus Pro's memorable release in the summer of 2020, what followed was insane, to put it lightly. From fall of 2020 through summer of 2023, we had at least 24 Pro pump action springers to choose from, and that doesn't even include 3D printed blasters. It's no surprise that by the time the Worker Seagull was announced, our stomachs were churning with nausea at the thought of yet another Pro pump action springer being released. And honestly, I think that's very unfortunate for the Seagull, because this may well be one of the best, if not the best, compact Pro pump action springer of our era. I received this box along with an inventory replenishment shipment that we get for Worker parts. You guys know that we put Worker flywheels and motors into our nailers and staplers. Worker surprised me with this in the same shipment, so I was really happy to see this. Let's have at it, guys. It shows this nice indigo light purple on the cover, but I did ask them for the white one. I know there's a lot of controversy about this B car showing on the box. However, it does not come with the blaster. You can order it separately. I got this particular one for my Dart Zone Mark 1.2. More on that project later. Great unit, not very expensive, and they have it on sale from time to time. Anyway, moving on, we're gonna go ahead and open this box. Looks like one little flap here, and then it might be seated as a tray. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Nope, no tray. All components are individualized. We got this little divider here. Feels like some hardware. Ooh, Worker Gen 3 heavies. I like that. I believe those are anyway. And the disassembled blaster, barrel and spring, the fore-end assembly of the blaster. I got 2 springs and I got 2 barrels. Very decent bilingual instruction manual here. Mind you, I wish they had this color combination. Worker, my friend, if you're watching this, please make this color combo. In fact, throw some gray on it, and if you want, just call it the Not Enough exclusive color scheme. I love that color, man. I just think it could use a little bit more gray. Anywho, you guys have probably seen a couple hundred assembly videos, so I will not bore you with that. I'm gonna go ahead and put this baby together. We're gonna check it out one last time here on the table, and then maybe do a little plinking, little chrono, and lasting impressions. Let's get to it, guys. All right, guys, got a little bit of a wider angle lens going for this section of filming, just because I think there's some things we need to talk about here. Now that we have the blaster assembled, which by the way is just this half and this half go together with these 2 studs. The foregrip attaches with these 2 studs. These little Picatinnies do attach with these very tiny 2mm screws. I must add, I also like the fact that the blaster is fully heat inserted, so it has these brass inserts so that the plastic itself is not bearing the load of the screws. I can confirm there is 2 barrels. There is the shorter one, which I have attached to the blaster now because I just think it suits this blaster a little bit better, and I'll get into that later. And the extended barrel, which is about 30mm longer, and its corresponding spring as well. Now, what I want to talk about real quick, because I don't think any of the videos that I have watched on the Seagull yet do this any justice, and maybe it's because of the color that those creators reviewed. I have the white, which is more like an off-white, just by a small amount. It's just hints of ivory, but for the most part, it's white. This light midnight turquoise blue, the closest assessment of a color that I can make out of this. It is anodized aluminum. I don't know how they got to this color, but against the white, it is just a thing of beauty. I'm going to try to see if I can get it on camera. Just look at the way that that blue hits the white with the orange. I mean, this is just, it's a gorgeous color combination. I know a lot of people are crazy about the pastel purple and green and even the pink, but man, just, I don't think those colors would bring out this metallic blue this well. I mean, this is just a beautiful color. With that aside, I like the little happy face right here. Not sure if that's a Worker thing, but that's kind of cool. Full fiber optic sights, both the front one and the back one, already installed. I have had a lot of these Asian blasters where you have to actually insert the fiber optic into the sight. This one, it's already pre-assembled for you. You literally just have to bolt up the sights. Now, the blaster does not include the bearing scar barrel that's in the photo, but it does include a standard scar barrel, which I kind of like because it's translucent orange and it friction fits right onto the end of the barrel. One thing I have to say is just the blaster just feels like a freaking tank. I've handled a lot of Asian blasters. I've handled a lot of retail big box pro blasters such as Dart Zone. There's just something about the Worker product. I don't know. All I can say is it feels like it's worth its weight in gold. I cannot describe it in simple terms. It's just a very premium feeling blaster. It is fully injection molded nylon, I mean, you could just feel the toughness. It goes together very well. It has a seal on the back of the breech and on the plunger head. So this is just a double seal kind of unit. I really love the way it integrates the blaster body right into the buffer tube, which by the way, you could remove this back part of your stock and then utilize any kind of buffer stock of your choice, which a lot of people will probably opt for, especially somebody like me with long arms. You'll be able to make a better use of the sights being in their proper place instead of having to relocating them to a spot that would just look silly, unless of course you eliminate the sights and just go for a standard, maybe a 1x or maybe at the most a 1.5 or 2x red dot sight. Matte black opaque solid magazine that holds 15 rounds. Does not gravity drop, but I think that just allows for a more challenging and fun gameplay. Safety is located right here, but you can also access it with your index on this side of the blaster. Mag release, if you have a decent medium to large size hand, you could probably just middle finger it right there, or with your mag replacement hand, remove it. You're just gonna have to use the same hand to grab your next mag and then reload. Other than that, I mean, it just feels very ergonomic. It feels very good in the hand. The tactile rubber insert of the grip right here, it is a loose assembly, but it doesn't slide around like you've seen on other blasters, and it fits very nice into these inserts, into this groove here. I just can't say enough good things about this, guys. We just have to get straight to the performance test, so let's get to it. All right, guys, so as I stated in the intro, this blaster comes with 2 barrels and 2 spring options, allowing you to have 4 possible power combinations. You also have a removable threaded SCAR barrel, which improves accuracy at the cost of a few FPS. This is good because it allows you to actually bring the FPS a little bit lower if you're already using the weakest spring with the shortest barrel for the lowest possible FPS depending on the game you're playing. I found this to be incredibly useful for setting up multiple loadouts and game styles such as HVZ, CQB, or even mid to long range competitive. Today I'm going to demo 2 setups. That is the short spring with short barrel combination with and without the SCAR barrel, and the long spring with long barrel combination with the SCAR. Let's get it. So for my permanent configuration, I went with the shorter barrel, threaded SCAR, and stronger spring. I believe this would be the configuration that best suits this type of blaster due to its compact CQB nature. You pretty much retain the small form factor, but you have a lot of horsepower behind that dart for when it comes to going out. Of course, the good thing about this blaster, as I mentioned earlier, is that it gives you that option. It gives you the versatility. If you have to go to an HVZ game, you're gonna put all the brakes on this that you can. You're gonna put the short barrel, you're gonna put the softest spring, keep the threaded SCAR on it, put the maximum amount of drag on that dart, slow that dart down maybe for a high level HVZ event or a low level competition or milsim. I also think that not enough videos have given justice to the contrast with these beautiful anodized midnight blue color that's used on the rails and these accents like the trigger itself, this little underguard here, and the pommel of the pistol grip. I don't know if this contrasting effect relates to other color offerings like the pastel colors, like the green and the purple, but I can tell you right now that it stands out big time against this Arctic-y kind of white, a beautiful light touch. It's one of the few things that highlights just the amount of quality and craftsmanship that was put into this build by Worker. If you're looking at this and wondering what the heck it is, I've had a lot of blasters that I've dismantled and thrown out because they were just garbage, but they have a lot of accessories that are actually pretty premium, ironically. This little hollow sight I got from one of those other blasters that I think was an MP4 or something that just was very poor performance, and I ended up retaining this, and it just fits so subtly and nicely. It flows with the existing sights of the Seagull, and I'm actually still able to retain the function of the existing fiber optic sights, which is a nice touch as well, along with the many other things that are great about this blaster. I'm really happy that I was able to find a new home for a lot of these accessories. This blaster is just so clean. I absolutely love it, guys. As for the longer barrel that came with the Seagull, well, let's just say I may or may not have found a new home for that one, but we'll cover that in another future video. All in all, I think this blaster suffered from lack of exposure due to the circumstances that I covered earlier. It may have just been overshadowed by the fact that we were just probably happy with what we had, or we had plenty of pro pump action springers at the time, and it's just a victim of the time frame when it was released. But it definitely deserves some attention, in my opinion. I know that prices over $100 scare a lot of us, even me. I was a little apprehensive when this blaster was first announced because I was like, okay, we got the Tryon, which is about 80 bucks. We got the 1.2 now, which is around 40 bucks. What is compelling me to make this investment? And I'll tell you right away, guys, this is a very polished premium product. This is not Worker's first offering either. This is a result of years of product development, research, and these designers putting their very best into this delivery. Getting back to the price, I have seen these go around $120 already, which is $30 off of MSRP. These are originally 150 bucks. Black Friday, I think they dropped down to about $118 depending on the color. Only spells good news for us going forward. We could see some deeper discounts in 2024 as Worker ultimately creates newer products that replace this and the Harrier. We can see this product under 100 bucks this year. If you know somebody who's on the fence about this blaster because maybe when it did come out or when it was announced they were suffering from said blaster variety fatigue, let them know about this video. It may sway their opinion or may not, but I just wanted to make sure that I pointed out to you guys what I thought wasn't doing this blaster enough justice, what wasn't being talked about enough in other videos. Share this video with them, let them know about our content. I love y'all. Stay blasting, foam fam.